Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week, and a solid week with 7 new comics. No freebies to show you this week, but I did buy some comic book bags. Not free, but what the heck, that's just another thing us comic book collectors buy, so I figured I'd show you that. Also, man, such a huge percentage of my comics are becoming reprints. I gotta find some new ones to buy. Which I did find one new one last month. But the first reprint is True Believers. Empire and Anele? I don't even know who that is. What issue of FF is this? Fantastic Four 37. Behold the distant star. I don't think I've ever seen this issue. I don't know who she is. She must be a Skrull, right? Because that new Empire mini crossover series Marvel has is about Skrulls and Krees teaming up, right? Old Kirby stuff from FF37. It's got to be fun. I'll take it. And the other reprint is a weird one. Thor Facsimile Edition 229. And I just got this because I thought it was a cool old Thor, Jerry Conway and Rich Butler. And then I looked at my database. I think I have the original issue of this and didn't know it. But the whole reason they're doing a facsimile of this is it goes in with all their Wolverine facsimiles, because somewhere in here is an ad for... There we go. That's why they did a facsimile of this. For that Hulk 181 Wolverine ad. That's the whole because they're doing they did facsimile of Hulk 180, 181. This, the first ad, and I think they're doing 182 also, where he appears in the last couple of pages. I don't think they've done that one yet. I think it's coming out. But, yeah, got a facsimile of Thor 229. What the heck? And, of course, here's a real famous one, facsimile edition of Detective Comics 38. The very first appearance of the Boy Wonder Robin. I have no idea what's in this issue besides the Boy Wonder. Oh, Red Logan. Look at that. Show you the whole name. Who else is in here? The Crimson Avenger. This is back when Detective Comics had a lot of... This is a pretty thick. That's maybe 60 pages or so. Malone, District Attorney. So there's lots of... I don't think I've ever read the other stuff that's in here. Cliff Crosby. We'll see if it's good or not. Slam Bradley. He's one who survives to this day, I think. So I guess they actually had detective stories in Detective Comics. Who knew? Then it looks like Reaver is back. Issue number 7, part 1 of 5, The Grim After. Justin Jordan and Nico Henderson. I liked the first story arc in this. It was sort of a Suicide Squad, Dirty Dozen type story, and set in a sort of fantasy medieval. This looks like a different artist than the first story arc. Must be. Well, I'm not sure. Oof. There's a gruesome head twist for you. Like I said, got a map on the back. We want maps with our fantasy stories, but no, we don't want... I was just, I don't know, I can't remember the name of it, but I was looking on the shelves, see what's new this week, and there was a number 1 from Image, I forget who draws it, but it was written by Jonathan Hickman, and was it East of West I read of his that I liked? But I didn't like his X-Men, but I picked it up just to look at it. It was like a $5, $6 first issue, I can't remember what, but it felt thick too, like 40 to 60 pages, and I flipped it open. And there's so many of his design pages. And I just don't like those. I don't find them interesting as design. I don't find them interesting as content. And they drive me bonkers when I'm reading a comic book. Like in his what is he just did? That X-Men thing he did, House of X, Powers of X, where he had all those design maps and charts in there. I know some people like them out there, but I'm just not a fan of them. Like I said, I've seen much better infographics than that stuff. But he likes doing them, so he stuck them in that book too. But I was just like, I'll put this one away. I don't want another book half filled with infographics. But this one is all the way filled with nice illustrations, so we'll take that. And then we've got Snot Girl, number 15. And I've given up trying to describe what Snot Girl is, because I don't know. Been reading it for 14, now 15th issue. My mistake. Snot Girl getting married? I don't know what it's about. She's a fashion blogger. Things happen in it. Doesn't seem to make any sense to me, but I like it. I like the art. I like when I'm reading the story, I enjoy it. I like the sort of tone of it. I like everything except talking about it, because I have no idea what it's about. I don't know how to describe this thing. Is there a plot? I don't know. I don't know that there's a plot in this book. I remember there were 2 issues where they went away on a retreat and there was a ghost. So that was a ghost story. I don't know how to describe the rest of it. But, oh, look, there's a little something in the back. I guess I am going to die at Meg's wedding. All right, that's right. One of her friends, Meg, is getting married. Why? I'm still buying it. Maybe I'm the crazy one. And then we got Manifest Destiny. I can tell you the plot of this one either. Easier. I think that's what I was going for. Lewis and Clark making the Lewis and Clark expedition across the country, except there's monsters and supernatural stuff. Bam! Elevator pitch right there. What happened last issue? Oh, last issue, there's been sort of a subplot going on for, I don't know, the last 20 issues, where first it was Lewis and then Clark. I forget which order it went in, but they started seeing a ghost who was a Spanish conquistador who died in, wherever they are in the New Worlds 100 years before. And he's been kind of doing little evils, whispering in their ears, little evil stuff. And that's been going on, I don't know, a couple of years in the issue-wise. And finally, last issue, Lewis and Clark, it was revealed to us that Lewis and Clark were secretly communicating with each other because, and telling each other that, because like the ghost was whispering in each of their ears, unbeknownst to the other. And then we found out they actually got together secretly through writing journals and notes that the ghost wasn't paying attention to talk about this ghost and kind of say, hey, you got that ghost whispering to you too? Yeah, it's whispering to me. So that was an interesting little plot development. I still don't know where the ghost thing is going to lead. Ooh, look at that, a giant monster. I told you there were monsters here. They're just traveling across the country, trying to clear it of some monsters. But like I said, I don't know where that ghost plot is going to lead, but it's been going on for quite a while with sort of nothing really happening with it besides the ghost being an annoyance to us, the reader. So I found that interesting that it happened last issue. Enjoy Manifest Destiny. I don't think this one has any plans to end soon because there's still a lot of the country to cover. So then the last thing I got this week was Adler, issue 2. I enjoyed issue 1. Oh, there's some praise for Adler on the back, I guess. What does it say? This is one adventure you want to sign on for. 5 out of 5. Entertaining and educational. 9 out of 10. There's our cast of characters. Let's see who we got. Irene Adler. She's from Sherlock Holmes. She's our star. Lady Havisham. I don't know where she's from. Young socialite. Jane is Jane Eyre. She's the character in the novel, right? Aisha. I don't know who that is. Annie is Little Orphan Annie. And Carmilla, I don't know, is a vampire. So that's sort of a League of Extraordinary Gentlewoman thing. I generally like the art. Like I said, it reminds me a little of, oh God, all of a sudden his name flew out of my head. You know him, Den, and everything else. Oh my God, I can't believe Richard Corbin. Kind of reminds me of Richard Corbin by way of sort of Walt Disney. Because there's lots of sort of Richard Corbin really round modeling. Like, look at that face right there. That guy getting punched. That's Richard Corbin-esque. But then we got the big eyes. That's sort of Disney-esque. Those big eyes everywhere. So I find it a weird combination, but I enjoy it. So we're gonna keep on. It's a Titan comic, so it's probably not going to be that long a series, but I'll enjoy it. All right, let me show you a little more. Another big ink drawing I did this week. This is a kind of a strange one for me too. I kind of went outside what I usually do, and this is there's like no straight edge work in this. This is all brush, and kind of jagged brush mostly. So we've got and only one face in it up here in our monster. We've got our screaming monster on a road sign of some kind. Because this guy down here, who, I don't know, is kind of, he reminds me of either The Exorcist or Robert Crumb. I'm not sure which. But he's just standing down there by himself with no face. Maybe The Question. Maybe a little bit of The Question in there, too. I think the hat was what made me remind him of Robert Crumb at some point. But there's a monster face of a monster screaming. Lots of texture in the ceiling of this, whatever it is. A little city behind him. But I like the way this one came. I enjoyed working with just the brush on this and no straight edges as I usually do. And what's weird is I don't know how it comes across on. There's a couple of different inks in here. So like that, the ink of the circles is a little more matte and dull than the ink of the ceiling above it. So you can kind of really see that as the light shines on it here, but you can't quite see it so much in the video. But The Ramble is the name of this one. I just come up with these names sort of off the top of my head because I've got to name them something. But there you go. Little screaming monster, little mysterious man. And you guys have a good week out there.